In this video, I'm sharing two really important historical tarot decks for my collection, the Etteilla Tarot and the Yellow De Laurence Tarot. The Etteilla deck from the late 1700s was the first tarot made just for divination. It introduced things like set meanings, reverse cards, and a whole system that shaped how we read tarot today. The Yellow De Laurence Tarot from the early 1900s is a bold yellow and black version of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It helped spread tarot across the US and into African, American and Caribbean spiritual traditions. For me, having these two decks isn't just about collecting old cards. It's about connecting to the history of tarot and seeing how it's grown and travelled over time. They remind me of how much these cards have always been tools for insight and connection, no matter the era or culture. Help me ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. It's still actually May the 1st, May Day, Beltane. I forgot to say to people when I just did the first video, this will probably go up tomorrow though, this will go up Friday. You know, blessed Beltane to everybody. It's one of my favourite Sabbats. I love this time of the year. Yeah, and I don't know, it's a beautiful day. It's actually been the hottest day on record for May, and we're only on May the 1st. So of all Mays ever, this is the hottest day. It was 28 degrees, which in Fahrenheit, which I'm still used to, is like 82.5 degrees, I think it was. But that's in some parts of England anyway, not all over the country. But as you'll have seen from the introduction, today we're going to look at the other two decks that I showed just, yesterday for you. One is the Etteilla Restored deck by Conrad Stain, and the other is American Tarot, and this one has been put together, reproduced by Marco Benedetti. And I'll tell you a little bit about each of them. Oh, I love these backs. And as I mentioned, Conrad let me choose which back I wanted. There will be a link, obviously, in the descriptions below if you want to get these decks, either of these decks. I couldn't resist. I just had to, being as I was placing an NPC order anyway for this, I'd contacted Conrad just to see. Well, firstly, I just said that I wanted an Etteilla deck and would he do one? And he said, I used to have one. It was a jumbo size. He wasn't very happy with the artwork, but it's a bit of a project. He's worked on it. He's done a tarot-sized one, and I know how Conrad is. He spends a lot of time reworking and perfecting it. So I'd imagine this would be an exceptional good quality deck. Now, also, as I mentioned yesterday, I do have the Book of the Thoth Etteilla, which has a lot of the same artwork on the cards, but the minors, the pips, are very different. And I think that was a Lo Scarabeo deck, but I wanted the brand Etteilla. So, as I said, I reached out to Conrad, and he very graciously, as he does, you know, made it available. So when I show you this deck, if it's something that you're interested in, you'll be able to get it from NPC. So a little bit of background, and I'm not hugely knowledgeable about all the origin of this deck. It's something that I wanted to get for a future study, but also, as mentioned in the intro, something to add to my tarot collection, because this deck does have a integral part of tarot history, in my opinion. So anyway, it's from the 1700s. Etteilla is the pseudonym of Jean-Baptiste Alliot, and Alliot is Etteilla reversed, it's backwards. And he didn't live very long. He was younger than I am now, I think in his early 50s. And he was a French occultist who was widely regarded as one of the first people to popularize the use of tarot cards, especially for divination purposes. Before that, it was very much used as a parlor game. So his work, in my opinion, was pivotal in transforming tarot into an esoteric tool, paving the way for much of the modern tarot and tarot practice that we see today. I'm actually going to bring the camera down a little bit. Okay, I don't want to come too close because I want to hold them and go through them as we talk about them as well. So it was in 1789, which was only, I think, 2 years before his death. Etteilla published the first tarot deck designed specifically for divination purposes, which is commonly known today as the Grand Etteilla. And it was groundbreaking because prior to Etteilla, tarot decks like the Tarot de Marseille were primarily used for, as I said, card games, occasionally for fortune telling, but usually in a much looser folkloric way. So some noticeable differences, because this isn't your standard tarot deck at all. The artwork, wow, comrade. This is really, really good artwork. Sorry about the pinging. There's a group chat I'm in and I forgot to mute it. If it continues, I'll pause and mute that. So this deck kind of reverses the order of tarot decks that came before it. So particularly, obviously, the Tarot de Marseille. And it starts with... where are we? I need to, I don't know if this is, yeah, so there is a structure to this where it's in groupings. There is a chaos card, if I can find it, because the chaos card is additional. So it's before, where are we? Before the order of the world, the universe. I wonder if it's in here. Like I said, I've only just taken this out. We've got our Fool at the back, but there should be, I think, a chaos card. But anyway, we'll get to that. He did use as well Egyptian symbolism, because that was based on popular at the time, but historically inaccurate, I should add in, belief that tarot cards had ancient Egyptian origins. That's where we get the Thoth association. He was also the person who introduced reversals. And you'll see on the cards, you have got reversed titles for the cards. And this was a new thing. I also heard somewhere, although I can't find any actual proof of this, but he invented tarot spreads. He was the first person. He did have a number of books. I think he wrote 20 books on cards and divination in his short life, which is impressive. Most notably was How to Entertain Oneself with a Deck of Cards called Tarots, which did lay out kind of divinatory methods. So yeah, I think the chaos cost, I mean, it could be that because it was an additional card, that Conrad's not included it. We'll see. But anyway, all I can say is, you know, Etteilla, his work influenced later occultists as well, including French occult elite. What was his name? I can't remember his name. Eliphas Levi, that was it. Sorry, I had a brain fog moment. And Pappus, and which eventually shaped much of the tarot symbolism that we see today in modern decks as well. As I said, the major arcana is broken into groups. The chaos card was used often for the card for when reading for men, and also the card which is Eve. Let me see if I can find her. Would be the one that would be used for reading for women as well, which then was later used in Lenormand. So, like I say, very groundbreaking, a deck that I certainly wanted in my collection. Okay, so try and get these in order. So the first grouping, if you like, is around the creation of the world. Oh, this artwork is so beautiful. I love it. And then we have the virtues according to Aristotle. So you see, it's a very different system to what you might be used to. And then the remainder of the cards is events in human life, if you like. So we've got marriage, forced marriage, illness, judgment, mortality, or, you know, death. We've got traitor, misery, everything to do with the human experience and human life. The suits are also unique. So when we think of cups, we think of emotions and things like that, or coins, we think of earth. It was different here. So as you can see, we've got wands, and the wands are stones, trees, plants. We have cups, which are in relation to cycles of time. And then we go into the swords, which is suffering and sorrow. I need to get actually a really good book to look these up, really. And coins are the sky, the stars, etc. So yeah, all right. So that's the structure. I'm going to just let you see good close-up images of this, because this artwork is stunning. So I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit, put it in the center, and just play some music and let you see these images. Okay, so I've like I said, I've just shown them, but I've also just been doing a little bit of research because not all versions have the Chaos card. And looking at this, it says for some decks, card 2022, card 22 is for the male consultant, which is this one, and then card 23, female consultant. In some decks there is, and there's different followers of Etteilla as well who release different versions of the Etteilla deck. The one that I mentioned, the Book of the Thoth, is another one. Would have a Chaos card for, and that didn't have a number, as an additional card that was used for males. And then, as I said, the card number 8, which is referred to as Eve, was for female clearance. So that answers that. The other thing then that I wanted to show, the other deck, I need to get a nice bag for that one, is American Tarot. Now let's bring the camera up slightly. So this is based on the De Laurence deck, which I've tried for years to get hold of, and always ridiculous prices, but you never know. But then somebody, when I mentioned it and I did the RWS top 10 RWS decks, a very lovely subscriber messaged me and said, did you know that Marco Benedetti has a De Laurence replica on MPC? And I hot-footed it straight over there because I knew I was about to place an MPC order, so the timing was brilliant. So in case you're thinking, what is the De Laurence tarot deck? It was a deck that was published obviously after the 1909 was released, and L.W. De Laurence created a tarot deck using Pixies line work, but it was an unauthorized reproduction of the RWS. And I've seen an orange one as well, whether that's a genuine one, because I've heard that you can get orange versions and yellow versions. This box is very tight and I'm worried about tearing it. There we go. It does have the spring back here. Love the backs on this as well. So yeah, unauthorized. I'm struggling to speak tonight. It's been a very long week so far. And it's known for its bold yellow backgrounds, heavy black line work, but giving Pixies original images a striking new look. The reason why this deck in particular, these are the backs, look. Imagine this back as well on an orange version. I mean, they're beautiful as they are, but this deck is significant because it was one of the first widely available tarot decks in the US. And it really helped popularize tarot for Americans. It also became highly influential in African-American cultures as well, and in the Caribbean traditions too. Look at that. Yeah, and it was incorporated into folk magic and spiritual practices around the time. So whilst De Laurence controversially plagiarised many European occult works, his tarot deck did bridge the gap between esotericism and folk traditions, which leaves that unique cultural legacy really. And the Yellow De Laurence remains collectible for its vivid visuals And this is a really good, because I've seen, obviously, it's even got the little, oh shit, squiggle. I've seen many walkthroughs of people who got the De Laurence. I think having an NPC version as well means it's on better cardstock, to be honest. But yeah, so for me, it's a deck that has historical importance as well, particularly because it helped take tarot from its European roots over into the US. Wow, I'm so happy to have this. I'm not going to use it this month because I said in the video earlier, or yesterday for you, I'm not working with RWS for the whole of May, so that I can dive in with the Thoth and Ipanol Tarot for my readings and study for this month. But this one is certainly one that's staying in my RWS collection. Beautiful. And I think it's even better in person. The cards are lovely. Nice springiness to them, but you'd actually think an RWS deck with just one colour of yellow, especially when people say that, oh, I don't like the RWS because of that gaudy yellow, and here it is to the extreme. But it is muted. It's not a bright canary yellow. It's almost like a mustardy yellow, but it's really nice. I wonder if Marco Benedetti is planning on bringing out the orange version. Certainly one I would get. So there we are. That one, even though it's based on the De Laurence, is packaged as American Tarot. That's a good name for it, you know, because it was the RWS that bridged those two continents, if you like. All right, well, thank you for watching, everybody. And oh, just to let you know, I won't be here again Saturday. I am so sorry. I completely forgot. I know I was away last Saturday because I was at Haworth and I did the vlog. But this Saturday, it's a leave-in party, a leave-in do for somebody that I work with. So it's not even in my city as well. I've got to travel for it. So I won't be here Saturday, but I promise I'll be back the Saturday after. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, go in peace, namaste, and blessed be.